The current strategy that I'm trying out on these double passage ones is I'm going in the order that the question kind of suggests, and that might mean going backwards, right? So based on the text, how would Barenfeld and colleagues from text 2 most likely respond to the conventional wisdom discussed in text 1? So yeah, I'm gonna look at text 2 first just to see kind of what's going on there. Maybe it makes some sense. So let's take a look. If we go here, ecologist Michael Barenfeld and colleagues have connected phytoplankton's diversity to their microscopic size. Okay, I've connected phytoplankton's diversity. Okay, because these organisms are so tiny, they are spaced relatively far apart from each other in ocean water, and moreover experience that water as a relatively dense substance. So they're just kind of talking about the size. Okay. This in turn makes it hard for them to move around and interact with one another. Therefore, says Barenfeld's team, direct competition among phytoplankton probably happens much less than previously thought. Okay, much less than previously thought. Well, what were we supposed to think about? The conventional wisdom. So he's disagreeing with the conventional wisdom. What was previously thought? Conventional means the past, kind of tradition, and wisdom means thought. So there you go. So let's look at the first paragraph too, just to make sure. Ecologists have long wondered how thousands of microscopic phytoplankton species can live together near ocean surfaces, competing for the same resources. According to conventional wisdom, one species should emerge after outcompeting the rest. So why do so many species remain? Ecologists' many efforts to explain this phenomenon still haven't uncovered a satisfactory explanation. So yes, they have. That's at least what Barenfeld is going to say. So yeah, he disagrees. I'm just going to stick with that. I was right. So A, by arguing that it is based on a misconception about phytoplankton species competing with one another, maybe. I guess the misconception would be that they are close together, or I don't know. I don't know yet. Let me see what the others say. B, by asserting that it fails to recognize that routine replenishment of ocean nutrients prevents No, it's not about the nutrients. That definitely didn't come up. Yeah, they're definitely talking about the space, right? How the water, it's hard to move around and interact, right? It's about the water, not about the nutrients. C, by suggesting that their own findings help clarify how phytoplankton species are able to compete with larger organisms. Well, it's not about larger organisms. That didn't come up. It's about the phytoplankton competing with each other. D, by recommending that more ecologists focus their research on how competition among phytoplankton species is increased with water density. No, it's not telling us to like follow a trend. It's just saying the water to the phytoplankton feels more dense because they're so small. So it's not about like a pattern. So A, I guess, is right. What is the misconception? Yeah, that they, I don't know, that they should outcompete, I guess. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, this is a great example of like, I just know everything else is wrong, so I've got no issue here just picking A and being done. I guess the misconception is the conventional wisdom, is the idea that they would compete with one another, when I guess Barenfeld is saying like they actually don't compete because they're so spread out. Yeah, like honestly, I would not have bothered to try to think of that misconception so much. Like I'm doing that for your benefit, but if this were me taking a test, I would have known that A was right and moved on very confidently because everything else is so blatantly wrong. But notice, I think it did help me to understand passage 2 before passage 1 because it kind of gave me, a better summary of what I'd be looking for, and I do think it matches with A.